What's up, everyone? It's KT with Voice TV. So for all my car folks out there, y'all let me know, are y'all a fan of the movie The Wraith?
Voice TV.
Now, The Wraith came out in 1986, if I'm not mistaken. And first of all, hold on. First of all, let me just say this. I am not a film critic whatsoever, all right? So I'm not going to be talking about, hey, man, so the plot was like this and the resolution and it's none of that, all right? I'm just a fan of movies and I'm a fan of cars, all right? And so this isn't a video about me critiquing like the storyline and all of that type of stuff, which is funny, by the way, but that's not what this video is about. So anyway, it came out in 1986, if I'm not mistaken. So I was in diapers when that came out. So the young folks, if y'all watch this, y'all would know my age. Y'all would probably say, "Oh yeah, he an old head." And the older folks would probably look at me and be like, "Okay, he's still a youngin', man. He was in diapers in '86. Yeah, man, you still a youngin', man. You got a lot of learning and growing to do, man. You still wet behind your ears, man." So, so yeah, that lets you know that lets you know how old I am. But anywho, when I look back, yo, I do enjoy this movie. You know, as a kid, I'm like, oh man, look at that cool future. That car from the future that's causing these other cars to like blow up, and it's just so fast and ends up making them blow up, and it reappears and drives off. Oh my gosh, this is amazing, right? That was me as a kid. But when I look back on the movie now, it's very, the nostalgia is definitely there. It's definitely, I feel as though it's a cult classic. And it may be even more just a cult. This is a classic to me. And maybe I'm biased, but that's something, when I look at that, it definitely takes me back to my childhood. And it screams the 80s, right? I mean, you listen to the soundtrack, the music in there, it just shows, how the car scene was in some places back in the 80s with the cars they had in there. And then you look at the clothes they were wearing. And let's talk about the names, all right? Let's just talk about some of the names of there. So you got Packard, okay? Then you got Augie, I think. Then you had like Rughead, Rughead, Skank, and Gutterboard. Like, come on, man. like, how did they come up with that? And then, let me ask y'all this. Let me just ask y'all this. All right, so with Skank and Gutterboy, if I'm not mistaken, I feel as though that was like a running like their commercial the film was, because I know in the 80s it was a big push against the use of drugs, right? And you remember how like that commercial came out and said, this is your brain, and then it was like egg and they cracked it, then it said, this is your brain on drugs. It was something like that, right?
This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
I feel like that's what they was using Skank or Gutterboard for. It's like, hey, you're going to be silly, you're going to be stupid like this if you do drugs. And I think that's what those two characters represented, but I can be wrong. Anywho, let's get into these cars, right? They had a lot of Chryslers in this movie. Chryslers was representing. Of course, you had, the Dodge, the Wraith car, the M4S, the Interceptor, the Turbo Interceptor, which is dope car. We're gonna get back into that. So you had that. You had the Daytona. I think that was the first race where the gang like took the car from the dude. The police cars. There was Dodge. I mean, there was Chrysler, and then you had the Plymouth Barracuda in there. So they was representing in this movie. Also, of course, you had a Corvette. I think the Pontiac that I think it was Augie with the blower on there. Yeah, I think that was a Pontiac, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, so those was kind of like the main cars. So when it comes to this movie, the Wraith, right? People really watch it. Where for me, I think about the car. The car in movies oftentimes, associated with the human characters, and they kind of help. It's like a co-star in a sense, because it kind of shows you the attitude of the person, right? Or who the person is, like the personality with the car they drive. So I guess if you got this alien, this Wraith thing that's killing people, the Interceptor is is an amazing car that really fits that. And yeah, I think the Wraith is definitely known for that. Yeah, he had Charlie Sheen in there, but when I think about the Wraith, the first thing I think about ain't Charlie Sheen. I think about the car. I'm not thinking about Packard and this little switchblade that he terrorizing the town with and stuff like that. That's crazy. That's crazy. And then, Packard, he fooled around. The whole storyline was Packard trying to hating because he wanted a girl, so he ended up killing Jamie, who ended up coming back as Wraith. Jake, the Wraith. That junk is crazy if you just think about it. This whole thing is because of diabolical. Let's do that. I'm messing up my own word. A diabolical hater. How about that? Hate, 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 hate.
Oh man, hate, 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 hate.
From 81 to like 87, I think they built like 4 of those interceptors, right? And they're supposed to be used for pace cars for the Indy 500. And I think they did that from like 84 to 87. Again, y'all can fact check me. This is something that I'm just going off memory. And like I said, I can be wrong. But yeah, they made like 4 of those, I think. And I mean, for it to be in the 80s, for it to be a 4-cylinder car that was making 400 horses and 0 to 60 in 4 seconds, that's very impressive. Because a lot of cars in the 80s is just, they weren't like these fast cars. But that's an amazing feat on that. But I love that car. I love the movie. I mean, the race scenes was pretty dope. I definitely like the race scenes and stuff. Yeah, it's just very, the nostalgia is very heavy, like I mentioned before. So yeah, I like the movie. Y'all let me know what's some of the best scenes that you all like in the movie. What is it that you like about the movie or you dislike about the movie? And if you haven't seen this movie, and I don't know why you haven't seen this movie, if you are into cars, maybe you just a youngin', you just happen to come across the video, go watch The Wraith. All right, I may watch this after I finish filming this, but y'all let me know what y'all think about The Wraith. Y'all put some information in the comment section. Let's just have a conversation. As always, I appreciate you all watching. Y'all have a good one. Be safe out there, all right? And drive safe. I'm out, all right? Peace.